July 4th, 2015. Dear President Obama, I want to tell you both how much I was moved and how lifted I felt by your eulogy for Reverend Clementa Pinckney in Charleston. It has been my joy to have visited Charleston on many occasions. Your grace and eulogy was much needed there, and it touched me and moved me and so many others so deeply. If you don't mind, I'd like to share with you an incident that helped me with my past and my love for my roots, my understanding of symbols, and in so introduce you to my friend Bo. I grew up in the South, a Tennessee boy. My family was not well-to-do, but neither were we poor. We were considered good community. Still, I was born into an environment that was bigoted and grew up in a climate of racism. However, I rebelled against it. I saw how ugly it was, and so I vowed to never let bigotry become part of who I was. I was the first in my family to go to college. It was there I truly interacted for the first time with Black people. I became part of the civil rights movement of the 60s. I protested, I marched, and I wept when Dr. King was shot. I studied racism through my Unitarian Universalist church. I became an activist. My life led me to travel down many roads, and eventually I became a professional actor, a most liberal profession. Eventually, in the mid-'80s, I found myself working for a theater company in California. I was part of an ethnically diverse cast doing Man of La Mancha. One of my close friends was Bo Billy, an African-American actor portraying the innkeeper in the show. One night, as I sat down at my makeup area next to him, I saw Bo's eyes grow cold as they stared at me from the makeup mirror. "Jerry," he asked, "are you Jewish?" Well, I have curly hair, and my last name is often mispronounced to sound somewhat Jewish, so it was a mistake often made. But I informed Bo that no, in fact, I was not Jewish, but a Unitarian Universalist. And then he asked me, if you were Jewish, and I sat down next to you wearing a swastika on my jacket, how would you feel? I said, well, I'd be pretty damned upset, I replied, still not getting what he meant. Well, that's what I feel when I see that, Bo said, indicating a patch on my jacket. It was a Confederate battle flag. I'd sewn it to my jacket years before because even with its faults, many, I was still proud of my Southern roots. And I tried to explain to Bo in a way that I now know sounds simply like a line from trite bumper stickers, heritage, not hate. Bo said, it's not your heritage that I see when I look at that. It's oppression, it's slavery, it's hate, it's murder, it's lynching. I was shocked to my very core. Here the activist for civil rights had injured someone he held dear through my own ignorance. Bo turned away. That's what I see, Jerry. How was I so myopic? Symbols are not what they mean to us, but what they mean to others who view them. I was utterly ashamed. The next night was opening night. As was customary, we performers exchanged little tokens and gifts. I handed Bo an envelope. In it was the offending flag that I had removed from my jacket and a book of matches. He grinned and then looked at the ragged, empty space on my sleeve, caused when I had removed the patch, and said, what are you going to put there? And I said, nothing. I don't need a symbol to remind me of where I am from. I want this space to always remind me of how far I have yet to go, how far we all have yet to go. Bo nodded, and we embraced. Even an activist needs to have his eyes opened every now and then. No, not every now and then, continually. Thank you again for one more reminder, one more lesson through your emotional and heartfelt eulogy. May God bless you and your family, and may God bless the United States of America. Sincerely, Jerry Winsett. April 5th, 2016. Dear Jerry, thank you for the email you sent after my eulogy for Reverend Clementa Pinckney. It reached my desk and I was struck by the experiences that you shared. They speak to how far we've come as a nation in confronting our imperfections and of the progress that remains to make sure every part of our American family feels respected and valued. As I mentioned in my speech last June, our nation has been blind for too long to the pain that the Confederate flag has stirred in too many of our citizens. Your resolve to recognize the ways you could make a difference over the years, whether by raising your voice against injustice or doing something as seemingly small as removing a patch from your jacket, drives home the idea that lasting change depends on each of us. So long as we continue working together and embracing the kind of empathy you described, I am certain that lasting change can be realized. Again, thank you for writing and for everything you've put into reaching for a more equal America. Your message meant a lot to me. Sincerely, Barack Obama.